Omar sleeping like that, and Omar and Pac went and took his balls and put them out and put them right near Omar's mouth, so it looked like Omar's like that.
Why would Pac see this man laying back with his mouth open, and the first thing that comes to his mind is to do something with his wood? It got something to do with oral interaction with this man?
We ain't baby oil clothes.
Nah, you stupid.
But yo, look, Puff is
Nah. You working with
I've known
Pac?
Puff for 30 years.
You saw Big before he passed?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to make it abundantly clear. I'm not here defending Diddy. I am here because I got dragged into this because somebody asked me a question and I had an opinion. Nobody's wrong for giving an opinion about any subject, period. I'm not here defending Diddy. Don't let the narrative fool you or get to you. Once again, somebody's creating narratives. This is my point. So please look at the whole clip that I did and then look what happens with the narrative. And that's what I'm telling you. Y'all people don't be sheep. Use your brain, use your freedom of thought, freedom of speech, and don't ever let nobody bully you. Never. Don't let nobody bully you. You got me? Love. Now back to trolling this troll.
A few moments later.
Marlon, have you seen that the documentary, the 50 Cent
No, I
documentary
haven't seen it yet.
for Diddy?
I haven't seen it.
Oh man, you working
Everybody
hard.
telling me you got to see it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Probably don't want to see it
you probably don't.
because it's all skewed, man. Like when you put stuff together, you create whatever narratives you want to, and at the end of the day, everybody being programmed. You know, right now the man's serving time.
Right.
You know he went before the court. The court said this, and everything is God. But God said this is what he got to do. He got to do 5 years in pen. Let him do his 5 years.
All right, what's good, YouTube? It's your man, Book of AlphaRonomy, a.k.a. Dr. BOA. Yep, I got time today. When you think about the way men interact with one another in this society, everybody's turned into a bunch of, let me share everything I know, let me tell all my experiences, just a bunch of mouth for the South type interaction going on right now. Man, everybody gonna tell everything they know about everybody they know it about. So although I don't condone myself what 50's doing when it comes to the information he's putting out about Diddy, the man's already been in court, everything's already been out there. So to try to just poking at it, that's between them though. Whatever beef they got, man, ain't got nothing to do with me. It's not something I would do though. And Marlon Wayans jumping to Diddy's defense the way he is, it just goes to show that he has no couth about himself, and he doesn't understand what it looks like for him to be jumping defending another grown man who's richer than him, more powerful than him, more famous than him, especially with this case, but to be defending him publicly like you either his man or his girl, it's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna jump out the porch and defend no man publicly like this against the world unless we got to be like brothers in real life. But you just heard him say, we ain't close like that, but I've been knowing him for 30 years. So I want y'all to listen to this, man. There's a clip that someone sent me of him and Omar Epps. And they just talking, man, on a podcast. And what this guy says about Omar Epps and Pac's interaction, it just goes to show you that he has no understanding of how to read the room. He doesn't care. Anything to get a joke, anything to get a laugh, anything to add some shock value to something. But this is the most rainbow thing that I've ever heard happening. And for him to call it out like this, first of all, why Pac isn't here to defend himself? And also, why Omar Epps is right here looking at him like, dog, why in the hell would you bring this up? Y'all listen to this clip, man, and we'll come back and chop it up on a real tip.
Sweet memories. All my memories is like, I remember when you fell asleep and Omar sleep with his eyes open like that.
Yeah.
And me, him, and Tupac Shakur was hanging out because y'all did Juice together.
Oh, my goodness.
And Omar sleeping
you really
like
bring this up?
And what people don't know about Pac is like he was a funny dude.
He was a funny
Omar
dude.
sleeping like that, and Omar and Pac went and took his balls and put them out and put them right near Omar's mouth, so it looked like Omar's like that. I remember one time.
Why don't you just do that?
I don't know. Because you're talking about all these sad memories. My love passing, and I remember the baby's born and the umbilical cord and the shape of it. Oh, nigga, where's the jokes? Come on now. We had some good times.
I was mad at Pac for that though. I was super mad. Like, yo, son, you really gonna do that?
Yeah, but you always get mad. You ain't gotta. You gotta work.
Now I want y'all to think about how they just spoke about that like it's normal. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. When you don't grow up with a dad, you may end up doing rainbow activity like this.
How important do you think having your dad in your household, given what you know now, how important do you think that is to have a black man in the household?
The greatest gift my father ever gave us was coming home.
Damn, that's deep.
Because my mother didn't make it easy. He was a dumb MFer and all kind of stuff. Because he did, she wanted stuff in life. Like new underwear, like stuff she couldn't just, little stuff, makeup and get her hair, and couldn't do it. But he came home, humble, Sometimes he had to tell her there ain't no food. What? Mr. Provider, you ain't got no food. And you trying to tell me what to do?
But you think about it. Look at the environment you got to be from to walk around with your pants sagging where your drawers showing, where your buttocks is out, and all you can see is your underwear. You think about it. I want y'all to understand something, dog. We live in a world where men don't know how to be men because they live by dumb street rules. Street rules are not man rules. They're street rules. They're rules to govern animals. They're not rules that men live by. Now, are there some principles there? Yes, there are some principles there. But outside of the basic principles of respect, don't tell on people that you involved in crimes with. Don't mess with nobody, old lady. These are some of the codes that are there. Now, we live in this world now where younger guys, they just don't care nothing about it. But OG code, that's what it was. But when you hear this man talking about this, man, why would Pac see this man laying back with his mouth open and the first thing that comes to his mind is to do something with his wood? It got something to do with oral interaction with this man? Bro, it ain't nothing about nobody mouth, no dude mouth that ever make me think nothing about my wood. I want y'all to think of the world we live in. Many men, some of the toughest men you know, have questionable sexuality. That's just the way it is. It's the world we live in. So when you hear a man like Marlon Wayans who's open to talking about this publicly, bro, some shit you just don't bring up. Why would you ever mention that? I guarantee you, if it had been him who slept with his mouth open and Pac did that to him, he wouldn't have said nothing. But this is the type of thing you got to understand. What Omar Epps just found out is that this man ain't his friend. If you thought this was your friend, he ain't your friend. But you avoid guys who befriend guys like Diddy. Man, Diddy ain't got no friends. Where's friends at? All the artists that used to work for him at his label, they not friends with him. His bodyguards, they not friends with him. The women who used to roll with him, they not friends with him. The boy ain't got no friends. All the people he claimed as friends are dead. Wolf, Biggie, some of the guys that weren't his friends, like Rob, Greg Mack. You got to remember, dog, that you are who you hang around. And this man, I've never heard any man speak on this topic like this, the way he is, defending that man like that, then saying I'm not defending him, but I am defending him. Man, let me tell y'all something. Be careful of who you let call themselves your friend. Because when you let them call you friend, you are in turn accepting them as friend as well. So if I say, hey, that's my friend right there, then that means if he don't say anything about it, that means that he's accepting that I'm his friend as well. Be careful, man. Be aware of what you're dealing with out here. Understand, man, that a lot of these dudes, even some of these older dudes, man, in their late 30s, early 40s, man, they ain't real men. Real men don't do certain things. Now, back then, you got to remember, Pac was mid-20s when he passed. So when he did Juice, man, Pac was a teenager when he did Juice. Pac probably was 19 when he did Juice. Maybe 18. Pac was young when he did Juice. So this is just a hood kid doing hood things they do, man. Listen, hood guys they call each other bitch all the time. Like it's okay with them. Man, I don't hang in environments where guys call each other that. Cause even if I was a dog, I wouldn't be a bitch, man. That's a term of disrespect. How you turn that into a term of endearment? That's how we got to saying my nigga. Nigga ain't a term of endearment. You gotta understand that you as a man have to make sure that the people who taught you how to be a man are real men and not just somebody you trauma bonded with over the mutual pain that y'all share from being from the same environment or the same circumstances. So beware of guys like Marlon Wayans who don't even know what to say, who don't even know how to play. Keep those guys away from you because their negative energy will drag you down. Now, there's something we know about Omar Epps that we had never known before. We know that he was hanging out with a dude, and when he was asleep, the dude put his balls by his mouth. Man, let me tell y'all something. And the fact that Omar Epps didn't deny it means that it happened. Because if this was a lie, you know good and well that man gonna stand up and say, man, that man ain't, what you talking about? That man ain't put his balls by my mouth. Man, don't be lying, dog. It would have turned into something right there. But he said, man, I was mad at Pac about that. And he should have been. But he also should be highly pleased that Marlon Wayans would mention this after all this time. That's been a long time ago, bro. Long time ago. He shouldn't even be thinking about it, let alone talking about it. All right, man, y'all let me know what y'all think about this, man. If y'all agree with Marlon Wayans even bringing this up, or if I'm wrong, if maybe Pac was just playing, like if this is how you play with your people. You understand, man? I ain't never played no game like this with nobody, dog. I was raised by men. We don't play games like this. I was raised by men. We wear a belt. We don't let our butt show when we put our pants on. Your pants supposed to go up over your butt, not under your butt. And so it's just a weird thing for you as a man to be comfortable, to be walking around with your butt out of your pants. It's weird. I don't care how raw you think you are. I don't care how tough you think you are. I don't care how gangster you think you are. It's weird for you as a grown man to walk around with your butt hanging out of your pants. And it's also weird for you to see a man sleep and you take your balls out and put them by his mouth as a joke. There's a very, very distinct line between being a man and being an adult boy who thinks he's a man because you live by some code. The number one code you should live by is being a man when the lights are on and when the lights are off. All right, man, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace. Next.